gold chain, two damn. Wait, how that song go? Two damn. Wait, I don't know. Remember that song?
I do, but I don't know the words though.
And it's like. You know how they got that video go viral?
No.
They're at this fair and they run into some people and there's like they was trying to basically like check them like, hey, you can't come over this way, blah blah blah. Where y'all niggas from? Like you can't come over this way. And then they just turned it into a full on fight. Started fucking them niggas up that checked them, but they put their music behind it. So they were like. It's like dun 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 dun, and then it's like where you from, homie? And then it's like dun 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 dun, and they were like, you can't be around here. And they're like, and then right when it's like Rob, as soon as he says Rob Stone, his homie Dex cut, and he's like Rob Stone, two damn phones behind, and they beating these niggas up, and that's how and then the song went viral. Ain't that crazy? That's some good marketing, though. You know what I'm saying?
Marketing, bro.
I hope you record right now, because we might as well throw that hoe in there. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Voices of Value podcast, where we talk about how songs go viral. Just kidding. We talk about business. We talk elevated conversations. We get to know people, specifically minority entrepreneurs and creatives. And if that sounds like the type of conversation you're into, then make sure you press the notification bell, press subscribe, leave a comment below, and share with a friend, because it is the only way we can grow, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, I say with that being said a lot, but anyways, I was about to say it again. Local business news, ladies and gentlemen, local business news. So if you didn't know, I used to work at Billy's Grocery. Well, I actually worked at Billy's Juicery. And at Billy's Juicery, they sell juices. I'll crack myself. All right, but no. At Billy's Grocery, they also have a second location called Billy's Juicery in Brookside, where they sell primarily juices and other healthy snacks. Now, while I worked there, it was a great vibe, but definitely not my scene, right? But I support the team, a great community of managers, a great owner. They create some really good food. I'm all about providing, wellness through food to the community. I love that they're on 63rd and Oak, because it kind of is right at the cross section of Brookside and like just the south side of Kansas City. So you can kind of get it in. Sure, the majority of people that come in there are what you would expect to come in there, but it is nice to have it close and like, nearby community of people who need more access to wellness. So shout out to Billy's Juicery, shout out to Billy's Juicery and Grocery, should I say. And to get to the specifics of the local business news, Billy's Grocery has become a partner with CPKC, which is the new Kansas City Current Stadium, and they will be one of the vendors when you go to Kansas City Current games at the stadium in 2024. So you will be able to buy all the healthy, dope items that Billy's Grocery sells, but inside of the Kansas City Current Stadium. That made me really happy to see, and so I went ahead and put it in the doc as local business news, because I wanted to shout out my old employer, also wanted to shout out a woman-owned business, also wanted to shout out a business that is focused on wellness and helping the community get, healthier and heal from all the other bullshit we be eating throughout the week. By the way, I had some Freddy's fries before we came in here. And I also had a Freddy's a waffle cone with a custard. You know what I'm saying? Custard. Speaking of custard, man, every time I see your bald head, that's what I think. I'm just like, I don't know, that sounds suspect, but I'm just like, it's shining. I'm like, custard. And I got to say it like one of them LA Crips, custard, cuz. But anyways, introducing my guy Darrell Walker Jr. to the show. Say what's up to the people. Tell them where you coming from.
Hey, I'm Darrell Walker. I'm here locally, here in Kansas City. I met bro. Honestly, we met at a networking event, right?
In real life first, but we was following each other for a few months prior to.
Facts. And then we actually got to see each other in person and actually chopped it up, and it was...
Bro, matter of fact, we met at the... Did we meet at the music video shoot in person for the first time?
For the first time, yes.
Yes. Yep. So, okay, so technically that's where we met. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were here for the episode I had with Yazin, Yazin, he's the creator of Yeah, as in global, a custom luxury brand that creates all types of things, bags, shirts, all types of dope shit. But you guys heard me talk about my cameo in the A$AP Rocky Riot music video here in Kansas City, Missouri, and that is where I officially met Darrell. So Darrell and I had been following each other on Instagram for a few months. I think really just because we're both personal trainers in the Kansas City area and kind of just ran across some fitness content each of us were producing and somehow ended up following each other from there. I don't know about your side of things, but I'm pretty sure that's why I ended up following you. So
literally.
It's like 3 months where we're like, let's get a workout in soon. Never made it happen. Then pulled up to a music video shoot and my boy was in there fresh as hell. I was in there with a dusty ass suit. He was in there suited and booted. I was like, damn, of course, first time I seen Buddy, he gonna be out freshing me. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. It was a fun time. Talk about that shoot, man. Like, you know, we're gonna get later into the conversation into fashion shows you participate in, your acting career, and you know, and more about all the other modeling, all the other creative type things you do outside of fitness and wellness. But let's just go ahead and start there. Talk about how that shoot felt, what the vibes were, what type of energy it brought you.
Yeah, man, that shoot was amazing. Honestly, like that was my first time being in a real production. You know what I mean? So that experience alone taught me a lot. It showed me a lot, and it showed me that you're gonna hurry up and wait for sure. You know, but other than that, it was kind of mind blowing. You know what I mean? Being able to be around that type of energy, people who actually wanted to work. You know what I'm saying? So like it was good to see people from our city willing to do something without being paid heavily. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see the energy of people motivated. You know what I'm saying? Because there are so many unmotivated people in the city as it is. So being around other minorities who wanted to actually pursue something else made it even more memorable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like even meeting A$AP, he was super cool and nice to people.
But he was funny as hell too.
Funny, him and his security, both, all three of them. No. Bro, like, you know what I'm saying? That was
some
cool.
Funny stories, but yeah, for sure.
Like, so other than that, man, that was just a great experience. You know, like I would love to do something like that again, and or to work with them again. You know, it was great energy. It flowed. It wasn't no egos. It was just a good time, a good fun time to be creative and to meet new people, you know, and even the networking aspect of it was crazy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just an all-around great experience for people who are just now getting in front of the camera, for people who are just now trying to network, and to be in front of like a big major production.
Yeah, and get that big city vibe in Kansas City, which is what we talk about Kansas City so often. Is it's a small town with a big city vibe. So to experience that from a production standpoint, from a creative standpoint, was also interesting. Like, okay, we're a small town compared to where A$AP's from New York City. We're a small town compared to where most big productions are happening in Los Angeles and Atlanta and Miami. But we can still provide everything and anything you need, you know, from a big city, you know, vibe right here in the West Bottoms, right here, anywhere in Kansas City for real. Honestly. But they chose a great location to kind of have open space and you know, shout out to, I forgot what the name of the organization is, but essentially Kansas City's like film.
That was SAG. SAG was the ones that actually casted everyone for that.
And
so shout out to SAG and Heather.
And then there's there's something where you have to go through and get permits from the city to be being able to shut down areas. So whoever runs that, if I remember, I'll shout y'all out later. But whoever runs that whole situation, where I think it's just Kansas City's film committee or something like that. Kansas City's been doing a lot, and a lot of the film community here in Kansas City's been making big efforts to like get the government, local government, like enticed and incentivized to make filming in Kansas City easier for people who are trying to do larger productions, and I think they got a lot approved for that. So that was really dope. And like you said, man, you know, we don't get experiences like that often here in Kansas City, although we do expect it to come. And we talk about that small town vibe. What part of town are you specifically from? Are you Wanda? Are you KCK? Are you KC Mo?
I'm a dot baby.
You a dot baby. Let's dive into that, man. What part of town did you grow up in? What was something special from your upbringing that comes to mind right now when we talk about the dot?
I've lived in every part Wyandotte. Started from 12th and Quindaro. Parents finally got a better job, so we finally moved up to the 40s, and then we moved to the 70s, and then we got to I think 86th, and then carried on from there. You know what I'm saying? So literally saw every aspect of what Wyandotte has to offer. Yes, it is a very, very small town, small city, but we take pride in our people. You know what I'm saying? We take pride in where we come from. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest aspect, or the biggest thing that I think I got out of the city is a lot of people are afraid to try. And I saw that a lot growing up. A lot of people are so talkative. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I'm doing, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. Nobody actually tries to put themselves in that position or in that experience.
Why do you think that is?
Fear, not having a lot of people actually come out of Wyandotte and actually do something. It's a variety of things, bro. The environment, there's so many factors, but I would say fear is the main number one thing. Everybody wants to fit in a specific image or a light instead of actually just being a light and where you at. You know what I'm saying? So I think seeing that a lot and seeing that in everybody around me made me shift my thinking to be something else, to try to do something else, to try. You know what I'm saying? Just to try. Even if I don't get it, I got some experience out of that. I got some confidence out of that. And I got me a connection out of that. So now I can try again, or I can try something else. You know what I mean? So now you're able to teach somebody else something and be something else, because they're still too shy. They big and bad, but too shy to go try something outside of being what the environment shows you.
On the topic of fear, when you thinking back to a time when you're in your teenage years or maybe middle school years, try to think of a story or a time or experience where you were fearful and you actually ended up, maybe quitting or not taking that shot or not taking that swing. You ended up regretting it, and that regret kind of influenced you to make that decision the next time around, if that makes sense. So you were so scared you didn't take the at-bat, you didn't swing, and then you were pissed about that for a few years, and you're like, nah, next time that opportunity comes around, I'm going to chase it. It could be quitting a sports team and deciding to, you know what I'm saying?
I would say anything I would regret. I think I wish I would have not let my loyalty to Wyandotte stop me from changing schools to hopefully get a better scholarship out of high school.
Talk more about that Wyandotte pride.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, I was in that Kobe / Jordan mindset of not having to switch schools or to switch wherever to make my dream or my goal complete. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like at the end of the day, it's all on me regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I wasn't thinking of the resources that other districts have. You know what I'm saying? But I also wanted to be that one to make it out of Washington. So that pride in me stayed there. You know what I mean? So it made me work harder where I was at, because I knew we didn't have the resources. We don't have all those connections that all those other schools around us have. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that. And when I graduated and was trying to get into other colleges and trying to get looked at, it was rough. So I had to go the JUCO route. You know what I'm saying? So I went to JUCO, played ball, Fort Scott Community College, and just went that route still. So you know what I'm saying? It was a lot slower. It was tougher, but it taught me that I can still do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? It made me grow up because I had to make different decisions. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still kind of wish or wondered if I would have actually transferred and went to a different school, would I have actually gotten a real coach? Would I have actually gotten more scouts to look at? Because I was really good at my position, but there's really no coach that really taught me my position. It was more so of just going up against the good guys and learning from there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and then seeing my other friends who are at these better schools, getting all these options and looks, you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting small D2, or, you know what I'm saying, not getting any really at all, just having to go try out for schools, having to go and do workouts for schools, you know what I'm saying, just to even
get eyes on you.
Get eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? So that aspect for sure, I kind of wish I actually branched out to another high school, because doing the schoolwork wasn't hard. It was just understanding the system, understanding how to work through that.
On the reverse of that, what do you think you benefited out of staying at Washington? What were some takeaways that were powerful that you still carry with you today? It could be the relationships, anything.
I would say a few teachers, because there were a handful of teachers that actually cared about the students and didn't just give us work, didn't just give us ridicule, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was actually something that actually cared for.
Who's a teacher you're thinking of right now?
For sure, Mr. Schmitting.
What was special about that, brother?
He was just a person that didn't ask much from you, but your effort. You know what I'm saying? He showed his compassion before he asked you for something, but at the same time he was very stern, because he had to be in an inner city school. Otherwise, we're gonna run over you. So it made complete sense. But at the time, it was hard to understand at first until you got to know him and see how he actually moved with other students. You know what I'm saying? So when you actually saw that, you like, damn, he actually does care about these kids. You know what I mean? Miss Fritchley, she was our financial teacher. Miss Roselle, she was like a mama. You know what I'm saying? Like she gave that mama energy, and she didn't take no crap. You know what I'm saying? Like she was not having it in her room. But you know what I'm saying? But regardless of how you acted in everybody else's room, you was gonna respect her. You know what I'm saying? It was like a universal language that was just like unspoken, that we knew not to mess with Miss Roselle. You know?
That's not the game we was going to play.
It's not the game we're going to play.
We're going to play a lot of board games today, but that ain't the one.
But them, the coaches, Coach King, you know what I'm saying? Coach Jackson, shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed compassion because they was hard on us. You know what I'm saying? Like they would roast us back. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the one few teachers that would get back at us. You know what I'm saying? So it made you appreciate them more, because that was the masculine energy that most of us needed. You know what I'm saying? Because not a lot of us had a masculine role to even joke with outside of our peers. You know what I'm saying? And if we did, it was somebody that we can't really rely on. You know what I'm saying? So it was even being through it, we didn't realize it until afterwards. You're like, damn, they was actually some cool ass people. You know what I'm saying? So
I always think about that when I think back to high school. I'm like, damn, that teacher was actually dope as hell.
Right.
I didn't need to be so mean to her. I was kind of boosty for that. So I'm going to transition out of the conversation about the dot. But before we do that, just for any listeners who are from LA, any listeners from New York, any listeners from Tanzania, these are the other cities or countries that people are listening from. So anybody from those areas who don't know anything about the dot, who are some legends from the dot? And maybe what is one or two special spots they should hit if they ever come to KCK, or specifically to Wyandotte?
Number one, I would say Earl Watson.
Basketball player, NBA player,
easy.
Point guard, right?
Right, easy.
I forgot what teams he played for. Small dude.
Yeah, he
looks like a new modern version of Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, he played and he coaches still. I believe he's in Toronto still
right now. Yes.
Up there, so bro comes back down to the city all the time. Shows love, just pops in.
I think he just had a Halloween party recently.
He did, Yep. Halloween party and a birthday. So
I'm pretty sure I seen something going. I'm pretty sure everybody was here. Okay, Earl Watson. Who else?
Let me see. Off the top of my
gotta
head.
mention the Queen. Pretty sure she's from the dot.
Of course, Janelle Monáe.
Okay, everybody knows Janelle Monáe.
Like everybody. So
everybody knows Janelle Monáe.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Slago because she went there. Whatever, boo. But shout out to y'all, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Janelle Monáe. I would love to actually meet her. I've never actually got to meet her, but I know her family, her peers, you know what I mean? But never actually got to actually meet her. So shout out to the Queen for sure. Definitely.
And this individual is, I wouldn't say that I'm tight with this individual, but I would say that he's a very kind soul, and I think he's going to do great things. So maybe by y'all terms, he ain't famous, but shout out IL.
Yes,
that
bro,
man,
definitely.
That man has
good spirit.
Exactly. Real. Spirit is a great word. He has a very good spirit. His music is very genuine. Tells a story. Reminds me of like coming up Kendrick or coming up Cole. Yeah. I know nobody likes to be compared to other artists, and I'm not saying his lyricism or sounds like them, but terms of the energy of where you really want to trust and believe in what this person's saying, and you really connect with their music, and there you feel the pain in their voice, and you feel like they're trying to claw their way out.
Yeah.
I think he's been out in LA for a few months now, jumping back and forth between the dot and LA. So hopefully he's doing his thing. I know he's got some writing credits on what's buddy name? I don't know if it's Trippy Red or Slump. I don't know. Anyways, one of these artists. So shout out IL. I think that's somebody from the dot who's going to be great here soon that you guys are going to start hearing his name. So let's transition out of the dot, man. Let's talk about fashion, man. Lately, I've been seeing ever since I met you, really, but I've been seeing you in a lot of flamboyant outfits. I've been seeing you showing a lot of, I would say chest hair, but you ain't got none.
No, I don't want that.
I've been seeing a lot of runway walks, brother. And I love it. I think it's fire. I think you rocking some dope fits. You really show that you're expressive. I see you like tapping into your inner creative. Like, I'm going to be the best model I can be when I step out here. This may not be the number one thing that I do. I might also act. I might also train. I might also do shit with tech. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it might be. Like, but when I step out on this runway, I'm going to come out with the most drip that I can come out with. So let's talk about how'd you get into fashion? How did you get into runway modeling? And yeah, let's start there.
Honestly, it started from the business. Me being a personal trainer has helped me talk and network with so many people, bro. And my clients, Becca and Marquand, I met a friend who sells sea moss, Alicia, shout out to her. She was a judge.
One thing, if you bring a bald black dude on the podcast that you gonna hear some talk about sea moss, ladies and gentlemen. Facts. Sea moss, you gonna hear buddy, they're gonna be talking about, what's buddy name that Nipsey used to be talking about, that man, the old health guru, what's his name?
Oh, Dr. Sebi.
You gonna hear some Dr. Sebi talk. Anyways, all right, sea moss monster, go ahead, go crazy.
So she was selling sea moss, right? And she was bringing some to them. And she was letting me know that there was a casting going on for the AC collection show, which was the show that Strange Music and Tech Nine sponsored last year at the Hy-Vee Arena. Shout out to all of them. At first I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, that ain't really my thing. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? So I went to the casting. It was at Luther's gym.
Okay. Yeah. Luther Glover?
Yeah. Shout out to Luther.
Shout out Luther. We want you on the podcast as soon as possible. So if you happen to see this clip,
you will. But yeah, it was there. So I pulled up, tried it out. I got picked, and then ended up walking for, I believe, 2 designers that show. And literally that's what sparked the brain. It was like, damn, like I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like it brought that confidence to like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I am photogenic. Cause I honestly didn't think I could do anything in the fashion world. Like,
interesting.
You know what I mean? Like it was, but
why?
It was that self-confidence. It was that, it was so far out of my lane. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I've never been like the super flashy, fashionable dude with clothes, which, you know what I mean? Like that was never really my thing. So it was just like, it was so uncomfortable mentally at first. You know what I'm saying? Trying to smile and look normal in front of a camera. You know what I'm saying? And or walk and pose. Like I felt awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I really just couldn't do it until I actually tried.
Right.
Again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I automatically talked myself out of it because I'd never tried it before, all because I felt uncomfortable. When in reality, I was looking for more ways to be uncomfortable. So I was like,
that part.
Try. So I went and tried it. I got picked up, and then literally it sparked from there. It was like each fashion show I went to, I found a new fashion show to get booked for. You know what I'm saying? Or a new show to try out for, to try to get casted for. And then literally it bounced from there. So it really started from meeting one client and meeting one person and networking.
I love it. I love it. And I think a key thing you said there, which is kind of the key to unlock that fear door, right, is just to try. Whatever you're fearful of, just try it. You know what I'm saying? I will say, I ain't trying to be in no goddamn tornado.
Hell no.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I ain't trying that. You know what I'm saying? Keep me out of Tornado Alley, buddy. But but in all seriousness, you know, when we're trying to overcome fear, when there is something that is in our way, an obstacle that makes us feel quivery at our stomach, that makes us feel uncomfortable, out of our league, or whatever word you say, out of your lane, not in my lane, like, fuck staying in my lane.
Right. Because you don't really know. My bad.
No, but real talk, you don't really know what your lane is till you step in that motherfucker and learn. You know what I'm saying? So you might step in and get hit by a semi, and now you learned. You know what I'm saying? Or you might step in and, you know, the dude behind you gives you a little wave and lets you on in. Dude in front of you, you know, speeds up, gives you some room so you can tail behind him and trail him, you know, through traffic. So the reality is you just got to step out there and try shit when you're afraid of it. And it doesn't mean just try anything, but if you look at that and you're like, I'm afraid to do that, then it's probably a good sign you should go play around in that arena for a little bit.
Right.
So I love that.
Right.
What has been your favorite show to walk in and why? And I'm sure you respect and love all the shows you've walked in, so we don't got to go through all that. But
I just want you to know that I liked your clothes, and I enjoyed everybody.
You feel me? But I would say, I would say so far, I think the AC Collection show was probably the best and biggest show that I've been in so far. Just the environment, everybody was just happy to be there. Everybody was ready to work again. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was excited to go to work, even though we're not sure when we're going to be actually walking. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, everybody was just excited to be there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was really respectful to each other and the environment because we was all excited to be there and walk for that such of a big show.
Yeah.
But I have one more next week that could be even bigger. So it's just like, I haven't even experienced that one yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like
more after that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Plenty more. Yeah. But so far, I would say the AC Collection show. That was
okay. So talk to me about like just how does a show work? First off, what's the purpose of a show?
Yeah.
And after the purpose of a show, say you do get paid. What are you getting paid for? Who's paying you? Just kind of break down the economics of a show, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It takes a lot to put together a fashion show. Finding a venue, first off, is honestly number one, because you want to have a space where it's safe enough, where it's easy to get to, where you have parking. You know what I'm saying? People who will allow a show to even be there. You know what I'm saying? Because some people will say no. You know what I'm saying? So finding a venue, number one, yes. Finding reliable people to help you put together a show. Honestly, I think that's number one first before even finding a venue. You have to have people who are willing and just as dedicated as you to put this big production together, because they have to manage the venue as well as so many other moving pieces. You have all of the models, you have the vendors, you have the designers, you have the people who are helping with the show, the ambassadors, you have to security, the venue coordinators who actually run the venue. You have, you know, if you're having food and beverages, you have to have that, you know, people to set up for you, set up the stage, the chairs. There's so many moving pieces and so much communication that has to go behind putting together a show or any type of event that you have to do first before you can actually put on the actual
event
show
itself, right? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the casting, you have to have multiple casting days so you can make sure you're getting the quality of models that you're looking for. Promoting, marketing, outside of that, that's a whole nother beast outside of just holding the casting. You know, that alone, even hosting the casting is major in itself. That's a really busy day. You'll have 200, 300 models come in, and you have to have people who are willing to be there to help judge, to help facilitate, to help keep things in line and in order, to make sure that people have registered, to communicate before even casting even starts to let them know when it's going to be. Making sure people get there on time and it starts and ends on time, because you don't want to roll over on time. That's extra money out of your pocket. You know what I'm saying? To pay the venue. So now you got the venue on you because you're there longer than what you said you were there.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Thousands of moving parts,
Constantly.
whether it's a small or national or international show, no matter what it is, right? So I respect that. And shout out to the individuals putting those on. So the people putting those on, are they like fashion or fashion industry enthusiasts, or are they models themselves who have stepped into a new lane of putting on shows? Like, what's the typical, from what you know? I mean, I know you're not the individual putting it on, but from the people you interact with, are these fashion enthusiasts who are just like people who like the industry and so they put capital towards it because they have the capital? Is it? I mean, I know we have Made Mob, so that like I kind of understand the background of the show that they put on each year. But yeah, I guess like who exactly is putting these on? I almost wonder, like some random Kansas City millionaire that likes models.
It's a lot of moving pieces. It's people who are actually in the modeling industry. It is previous models who are now trying to expand themselves and who have networked with other people. So now they can actually put on other productions. Some designers help do that. Not all the time, but it's usually people who actually own productions and who have done and who actually do produce fashion shows and or its previous models.
Gotcha.
Who are now expanding and doing
into
other things.
Production, right?
Into
right.
production,
as like another layer of their business or another layer of their experience. Okay,
right on. For years now, and now they're tired of modeling. They want to do something else.
And so what's your big goal when it comes to, you dabble in a few lanes right now. So we just finished talking about fashion, runways, obviously modeling. So that comes with photo shoots for either random things, for clothing, for, anything. Literally anything. But do you have a big goal in that lane, or is it just a lane that you decided to explore to kind of get over a uncomfortable feeling? And so I guess where are you at there? You're like, I love this. This is the lane I want to grow and become a big model in. Or is it like, I'm doing this because it's fun and it introduces me to new people and it gets me out of my comfort zone? What's your big goal over the next 5 to 10 years with modeling?
For modeling, I would love to have this full time. Now that I've gotten comfortable with it, now that I understand how to actually be in front of a camera and not be shy, not be, conservative or, just anything that would make us fall into that uncomfortableness, now it's just more, I would love to be a Ford model. For a fact. I would love to do this full time and travel and do this overseas, be in different cities, get calls for gigs in LA and New York or Paris and Milan, I feel like I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I have the look and the confidence to pull that off. You know what I mean? And again, it took from doing it once. And once I was like, okay. You know what I mean?
It so just you're like, fuck it, I'm on.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's go get it. Right.
And for me, it's like I don't do things just for fun. If I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it just to say, hey, I'm a model in the city. That is nothing.
Right. That means nothing to nobody who's about to give you some money. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Worry about none of that. Right.
It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can do photo shoots all day and not be getting paid for that.
With that being said, like if there happens to be some modeling agencies or modeling, what are they called? I'm gonna just call them hunters. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call them hunters out here. Look,
they be scouting.
Right,
like
there we
scouts.
go. There we go.
Like
That's the word I was looking for.
Model scouts, they be out here.
The scouts.
Sure.
You never know when they watching. So like, what type of like what area of modeling do you feel like that's my thing? Like, is it like I'm more of a put me in a grunty football or like car manly shit, or is it more like put me on some cologne, spraying that shit on with the 6-pack and a Ferragamo? Like, what is your? I don't want to say lane because we just talked about, but you get what I'm saying. What do you feel like is like your niche right now?
I feel like I can be versatile. You know what I mean? I feel like I can do the nice, elegant things that still show a masculine aspect, you know, whether it's doing a cologne shoot or something for, I don't know, Vogue or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But I also feel like I can do fitness modeling, you know what I'm saying? Or anything with streetwear. I feel like I'm comfortable in those lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like there's a major no-no, but if of course, there are some no-nos, but you know what I'm saying? But like, there's not too many things where I'll be like, nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that. You know what I mean?
All right, Brazzers, make sure you call him.
No.
And there's the no. That's the no. That's the no right there. Like, we're gonna catch him. We're gonna catch him on ESPN like Serge Ibaka, butt naked, just in that mid run like this.
Hold the basketball right.
Give it 3 years, y'all. Give it 3 years. He gonna have a dumbbell just. Buddy, crazy. I can
do some things, but certain things I'm just like, all right, man. Like, I'm gonna let y'all find somebody else. But yeah, man, that's what I want to do. Cause like, I mean, I would love to keep doing runway.
Yeah.
I just know I'm not tall enough. So I'm like you have to be 6 or above to be
trying to find all the cameras.
You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be honest. You gotta be tall. You gotta at least 6 foot. You know what I mean? So like maybe, you know what I'm saying? If they want me, but for sure, I know my lane is gonna be actually prints modeling, anything in that lane. You know what I mean? It would have to be that or commercial for them.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's make it happen. All the scouts watching the Voices of Value podcast this year or in 2027, hit my man's up for work. Information going to be in the description. With that being said, let's move on to acting, brother. We've been seeing you act a lot the past few weeks. It might be the past few years, but from what I've seen the past few weeks. So let's talk about some of your upcoming projects that you're allowed to talk about.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Yeah, just what are you excited about in the film lane moving forward?
Yeah, man. I just recently, am currently filming right now for a film called My Cherie Amour. I have a lead male role as one of the best friends. So I'm playing that right now, and it's an amazing experience, bro. Like actually being in a film and seeing how much it takes, again, how much production it takes to put something together, how much time it takes. You know what I mean? I got casted for this film through AGA Productions. They hosted a boot camp in, was it August? It was a 3-day camp. They literally taught us how to read a script, how to read the character, how to understand the beats, and how to understand how to embody a character in a short period of time, and how to do it overall when you're preparing for other and bigger roles. You know what I'm saying? So that whole experience like put me light years ahead when I got the call for this. You know what I'm saying? Because now when I got the script, it was easy to understand. It was easy to understand what the character is. It was easy to understand what they were looking for. It also does take communication, you know what I'm saying, to understand, am I on the right track? You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, bro, it's long hours, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Camera quality is important. Camera quality is worth it. Seeing our playbacks of our scenes is just is amazing, man. Shout out to Corey and Khalid and Lane for putting everything together. Shout out to the crew, everyone helping, holding the cameras, all the cast, everyone who is acting with me. All of them are important pieces, and it's amazing when everybody gets along together. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes a film process so much smoother because everyone has a good rapport with each other. You know what I'm saying? Having a table read, making sure that everyone is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want nobody to feel out of place when we're trying to put together a great production. You know what I'm saying? Because that really does show on camera. That really does take away from what you can actually give as a performer. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that everyone gets along and everyone is respectful to each other's time, space, you know what I'm saying, is just it just makes everything run.
Yeah, and,
you know what I'm saying?
And I assume that means there has to be good leaders on set. So what does that look like? How do you maintain that culture, that energy inside of a 12, 16, 18 hour time frame? People are getting tired. Yeah. You know, it's not like they about to get $20 million at the end of this, you know what I'm saying? So not that has to be the sole reason you're doing something, but it's definitely a good motivator. So you know what I'm saying? Like you might have some food on set, but it may not be the food you was able to eat. You might be hangry too. Like, you know what I'm saying? There could be a lot of energy going on over 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? A lot of frustration that can happen from having to run your scene back a few times because you're not hitting it yet. So like, who's the leader on set normally, and how do you maintain good culture in that setting?
The director and the producer, those two set the tone. You know what I'm saying? I think their great communication makes everything happen. You know what I mean? Again, communication is everything. So understanding who needs to be on set, the call times, who's needed, what locations, all of that comes into a major play, and they have really displayed that, you know what I'm saying, having everything in order ahead of time, you know what I'm saying, showing you what scenes we're doing, just knowing everything down to a T, so when it's time for the people to perform, it just goes, as well as the cast knowing their lines. If they know their lines, bro, it makes the producer and the director feel more comfortable to just do their job. You know what I mean? Because then they're not having to coach you so much. They're not having to think so much, and they can just focus on looking at the playback and seeing, yo, I want you to do it this way this time. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's less time and it's less takes. So if you know your lines to a T, they won't have to be there for a second and third take. Yeah. You can sometimes get it done in one, and they're like, oh my God, yes, we don't have to do it again. Let's just get it from this other angle, and not just from that one angle. From that one angle. You know what I'm saying? So if the cast knows their lines, please know your lines. Like if you're working, I don't care how short or simple the lines are, know them. If you know them like you know a song that you sing every day, bro, like scenes are done like that.
And they gonna love you too. So that means you getting that call back, brother.
They will call you again.
Queens, brothers, kings.
Yes, because at that point that shows that you're being a professional.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance, ladies and gentlemen.
Even if it's your first time.
And Ray what you're reminding me of is a quote that Ray Lewis said. And what he said is like on every big play on the football field, when there's a touchdown scored or just a big ass play, there was one person on the field that decided, I'm not going to do my job on this play.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
One person on that field didn't do their job and decided that they weren't going to show up 100% in that moment. And that is how a team gets picked apart. Each time they just figure out who's not going to do their job on that play, and they're attacking that. 100%. So it's the same idea in really any setting. You know, if a film is going to perform well, if the production is going to perform well, if the culture on set is going to be great, it requires everyone to show up and do their job.
Yes.
And it sounds very cliche, but that's where, like you said, the director and producer come in with like making sure that they're trying their best to choose the right people, trying their best to maintain, you know, some good energy on set so that people want to show up and be the best version of themselves too, because that feeds into it as well. So it sounds like everything's going well on that set. We're excited to see that come out. Is that going to be a short film, a long film? Is that what's the plans for that, so we can kind of know where to look out for, or what page, who should we follow? How do we stay updated with that?
Yeah, this is a complete real film. So this is a feature film. So someone else wrote it and brought it to Khalid and Corey to actually film here. Okay, again, filming here. You know what I'm saying? From LA, filming here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like the quality is here, man. The space is here. The money is here. So just seeing how they're well connected, I veered off so fast. My bad. You good. But just what was your question? I really did forget your question.
Shit, I was just saying, where can we find?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
But no, you were sharing some important aspects. So shout out Kansas City. Shout out that it's a feature film. It's good to know that. So I think all of that plays a part. So don't feel bad for that. But continue. Where can we find this? Where can we expect to see this? Who should we be following in order to stay up to date? So when it does drop, wherever it drops, whenever it does launch at a certain film festival, we know. When that happens.
Follow on Instagram, follow at AGA Productions. They are the people who are actually producing everything. That is also linked to Corey and Khalid, the main two guys of this whole production. It will be premiered on December 29th. The location, I'm not sure yet. Right. We have one more film day, and then there'll have time to put everything together. So that'll be told to us later on whenever they get done.
Man, quick shout out to the editors of films, music videos. Like, yo, son, the amount of, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Everyone's doing a lot of work, but editors, shout out to you, man. Like the goats, the real goats.
As far as where it's going to be, I'm not sure if they're going to actually sell the movie or if they're going to actually put, I don't know what route they're taking. But as far as I know they have connections and to actually be on HBO, be on Tubi, and all these other networks. So it's liable to be everywhere. I just don't know what route they're taking.
Fuck yeah. AGA Productions.
AGA Productions.
And we're going to know what's cracking by December.
AGA Productions.
AGA Productions. We're going to know what's cracking by December 29th.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yes,
so
sir.
I wanted to talk to you about fitness.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about fashion. We've talked about modeling, which is taking up a lot of your time lately, both of those things. Yes. But the last thing that I want to discuss with you is fitness. How did you become a personal trainer? How important and impactful has the skill set of being a trainer, the ability to communicate with human beings one-on-one in an emotional setting impacted your ability to be a great actor, be a great model, to network, to connect? Just talk about how fitness and personal training as a career path or as part of your career path has contributed to other aspects of your life.
Yeah, I actually became a personal trainer through my friends, to be for real, man. Because at first it wasn't even on my radar to even want to even do. Shout out to my to my friends, man. It started from Janae, Thomas, and my brother Jay. Like, those three were the main three that was just like, why are you not training people? Why are you not doing, like, you should train people, bro. Like, they was on my neck, dog. Like, every time I seen them, you still not training people, huh? Like, it was just something, just something new. So I tried it. I was ready to leave my job. That's what really, really, really sparked the interest. I'm like, yo, I got to get out of this position. I don't want to be here. I hate it.
Which was?
I was a CAD technician. So I was basically making design plans for roads and highways around the country and here. You know what I'm saying? So that was my job. I mean, it was cool. It wasn't my passion.
Yeah.
By no means. It was just where it was bringing me money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, somehow I ended up there through all of my other experiences of work. And then I landed there, and I was like, okay, I don't like this.
I
was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, well, I'm like, it's paying the bills, but bruh, I want my time back. You know what I mean? I want something that's more personable with people, because I'm just in a cubicle, and I'm used to always having to be on the move. So when I got to a sitting setting, it fucked my head up. So I'm like, bro, I can't do this. I cannot. I have to get out. So I started the training business, Stamina. When did I actually start? The end of 2020. Yeah, end of 2020. I registered for my LLC in October. October seems to be
a good month.
My month, bro. Like, all of my major things have happened in October. I started my business in October, and then it rolled into the new year. I started training, started getting clients, trying to build that confidence to set a price point, which really was hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just to get that mode to actually work with people, to learn how to coach, to learn how to communicate in a way that people understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was probably the most, almost the hardest thing, is understanding people's communication. That's, I think, the biggest thing that I've gotten out of being a personal trainer is learning more ways to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Learning more ways to listen, first and foremost, because I have to be able to read your mood, your body language, to make the way you're walking or doing a certain exercise, how you're talking. It's every little thing that you're bringing to the gym I have to pay attention to as a coach, as a friend, as just a person who's trying to be there, because in this position, we're like therapists at that point. You know what I mean? Like, we're taking on all of your baggage or all of your way that you're bringing that day to help you feel better. You know what I'm saying? So it made me focus on the relationship with people versus only giving them a workout. Because at the end of the day, they're not there for that workout. They're there because they actually enjoy you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that made me focus more on the communication, more on the relationship. That way I can understand how to help you, and that way you feel more comfortable to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy to be vulnerable in front of somebody. You know what I'm saying? And this is the most physically vulnerable aspect that someone can show you, is them coming to work out.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because they already don't want to be there. They already are feeling insecure about how they look and feel, and because they don't know what to do in the gym.
And they already don't feel good, literally.
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
Physically and mentally, not even from the insecure perspective, just don't feel good.
Yeah. So word choice and communication is so important. And that's what this is teaching me. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to approach each energy that I'm presented with and not be drained by it immediately.
Yep. Learn how to adapt, adjust, and spread love at the end of the day.
Literally,
for real.
Spread love, because that's what it is.
Yep. That's 100% what it is.
We're literally giving love without asking you from something.
And I think the funny thing is, you realize that as a coach when you come in not feeling good.
Yeah.
And so you're a little bit more quiet. And they start like saying, "So,
yes, bro.
They're like, so, what'd you do this weekend? Like, how you feel?"
Yeah.
When if I come in, I'm super tired or didn't get to sleep the night before, I have a headache, and I'm like kind of quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, good morning. Just like
they know.
And then I'm sitting there by the treadmill while they warming up, and I'm just looking into the abyss.
Yeah.
And they're like, so, and as soon as they do that, or they make that face, or they look down, like I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucking up right now.
Literally.
And so then I'm like, man, I'm tripping. Good morning, what's crack-a-lack? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not putting the way you're feeling away. It's recognizing how you're gonna carry yourself in the world, and like just kind of making a decision in that moment, like, how do I want to make myself and others feel? Right now, I'm not making myself feel any better, and I sure as hell ain't making them feel better. Right. So how can I make this situation improve immediately? And it's going to be by switching up your energy. Yep. And it doesn't mean you're putting your tough times like in the trash or whatever. You can still address that at a later date, but in this moment, how am I presenting? And so I think that's really important as well when you come into a networking event, when you come into a business, when you go into an interview, when you're trying to secure a deal. Like, you can't be thinking about all the shitty shit that happened 2 hours ago. You can't be thinking about how tired you are, your headache. You got to lock in and connect. Lock in and connect. So
lock in. That's it.
But on the topic of like taking on a lot of people's baggage, the last thing I want to talk to you about is, what is one habit or one tool in your bag that you utilize to maintain your own mental health? I know you strength train. I know you work out consistently. So let's put that aside. Yeah. Is there anything else, any other tool or habit that you've implemented over the past 12 months that's been really incremental, or I don't even know if that's the right word, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm trying to
say. I would say for sure time management and meditation, for sure. Time management. Talk
about how you implement meditation. Like, what does that look like? Break it down. Let us in your life.
First, I had to understand what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because like, there's so many different forms of meditation, so many different practices. So like, that alone can be overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? So I had to simple it down for myself and literally type in how to meditate for beginners. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then actually either read or watch videos on, that's what you mean. You know what I'm saying? That is so literally, it's either just finding the same time of the day and meditating for a couple minutes, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, just depending on what you can do by sitting there and being in that present moment. Because it's going to teach you to, one, to calm down, but two, to be in that present moment. That way you're prepared with everything that's already going on in your brain. You know what I'm saying? That way you're actually calming the spirit within you and not just going out frustrated and allowing that to show to everybody. You know what I mean? So that alone helps calm the brain, helps get ready for all the energy that I have to receive that day. Because at the end of the day, I'm an introvert, and I have social anxiety as it is. So I have to be ready to take on energy. I have to be ready to talk when I don't want to. Because I'm so, outside of doing shit like this, I am so quiet. Bro, it's crazy. Like, you will not see me. You know what I'm saying? But meditation alone has helped me learn me. Because at the end of the day, I have to learn what my energy is. So it helped me understand what I'm walking around with every day. Understanding what I actually feel like without having everybody else's energy attached to me before I'm actually understanding what it is I actually feel like. You know what I mean? So that it calms the brain. It's good for your gut because you're learning how to properly breathe. So that alone helps your nervous system so then you can digest better. You can actually feel better. Your body can get more oxygen throughout everywhere because now your brain can get more oxygen because you're properly breathing. You know what I'm saying? So that alone has helped for sure, and that in time management for sure.
I bet y'all his whole head be inflating every time he breathes in. He
veins popping out
but he be looking like the baby from that one. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done clowning my man. I'm not so done with the conversation with him, but we do have to wrap up for time. So the last question of the day, my friend, is what is the most painful experience you've went through in life? What did it teach you? And how are you going to pass that lesson along to your children?
Shit. The most painful. There's some that have a tie, but I would say, damn. Oh, that's hard to just say one, bro. Like I don't have just one, but I can say the most recent, the most painful thing was watching myself stay at a job that I hated and tried so hard to actually put myself and my health aside to make a check work. So seeing how that can really take your confidence away, can take your value as a man away. To see all of that was painful because it was watching me. It was me watching myself cause my own pain and fear. Because I was in a spot where I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't mentally in a good space outside of work. So it was just seeing how that pressure and that depression was bleeding into everything else around me. So I was just watching everything crumble. So being in that spot and not knowing what to do was mad painful because I knew I had more. I knew I had more to, I knew that, what am I trying to say? I knew that I had more to give and more to offer. And I felt like I was cheating myself and undervaluing myself by staying in a place where I wasn't valued and in a place that I didn't value. So it was like the blind leading the blind. We just zombies just talking. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel alive. I felt dead, like in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that my creativity was dying, I was like, okay, the spirit within me is dying. So I'm accepting, I'm making this new extra thing that I'm creating to be the God of me now. And when I realized that I'm allowing this depression and this system be the God of me, that was the most painful thing possible to understand when I know that I'm the God of me. So yeah, it was just trying to take that power back. You know what I'm saying? So realizing that I felt hopeless and unvalued and unvaluable as a man, fucked my head up. And that's what shifted. It just clicked. I was like, you know what? We have to try new things. We have to try new things. And then bam, I started a business and then bam, all of these new experiences happened. If I didn't take that risk of getting out of that fear of stepping away from that job, I would be still there depressed, mad, just another angry black man working a job. And I'll refuse to be that man. Refuse. There's too many of us out here like that. Too many, like all of the old heads that are out here are like that. Because why? Because they didn't teach us how to think for ourselves, how to think outside of that box. And when I realized, I'm like, damn, that old generation taught us nothing. So I had to figure this shit out by myself. Okay. So yeah, it was more so that it was accepting that I can't allow myself to blame them no more. And when I stopped blaming who didn't teach me, who I didn't have, or what example I didn't have, or whatever, I took that responsibility to go learn. We're afraid of learning. We are terrified to sit down and learn something. Again, afraid to try. Trying teaches you to learn. It's going to make you go learn. It's going to make you read something new. It's going to make you step outside that box. If not, you're going to be another angry person working at that job and upset. And I couldn't do it. So that pain right there was probably my biggest lesson over the past 4 years. That was the most painful thing right now, was just seeing myself create my own destruction.
Number one, you are the God of you. Number two, extreme accountability. Number three, Try things that you're scared of, ladies and gentlemen. This has been yet another episode of the Voices of Value podcast with my guy, Darrell Walker Jr. Where can they follow you? How can they stay caught up with your journey? Plug that, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, you can follow me at Such a Standout on Instagram, or just type in Darrell Walker, and you'll see a bald head shine up with a white T-shirt.
Yes, you will.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course. Voices of Value podcast. Press subscribe. Press the notification button. Leave a comment. That's the only way we can grow. CIZY. Salute.